shining down on the valley. Hope to be a fly fish till the day that I die. Spring has thawed out the long bitter winter. The water is clear and the skies are blue. I'm standing in the middle of the Beaver Kill River. I might even catch and release one or two. Well, some folks like horses, cats or dogs. Me, I like fishing with a rod and a fly. Yes, fishing is a favorite pastime of mine. If I couldn't do it, I think I would cry. Well, life is good when I'm wading a river. It gets even better when I cast a fly. If I catch a trout, it don't really matter. It's fun just to be here and give it a try. Trout is rising in the far eddy. I make a false cast, then take my aim. If he takes the fly, I feel so much better. And if he doesn't, I'll feel no shame. Stoneflies and caddis and the ripples are plenty. Mayflies courting on fragrant breeze. And cedar wax wings come down from the heaven, wait for their dinner up in the pine trees. The water is cold and my waders leak, and it's raining now on my favorite stream. I'll bear it all, just fish with a feather, so when I sleep I will have a sweet dream. And life is good when I'm wading a river. It gets even better when I cast a fly. If I catch a trout, it don't really matter. It's fun just to be here and give it a try. Oh, ripples and waves, pools and eddies, trout are rising for the mayfly. And the sun is shining down on the valley. Hope to be a fly fish till the day that I die. Yes, I hope to be a fly fish till the day that I die. Hey folks, how you doing? Guess what? It's season 5 of Ripples and Waves. I can hardly believe it that I've been doing this show for I think 5 years now. It's pretty awesome. I hope you've enjoyed the show over the last 4 years, and I hope this year will be just as special. One of the problems we had this last year was floods. And as we all know, that's a big concern. And I really didn't get that much fishing in last year because of the flooding and the damage in some areas. However, when I did go out, I saw some incredible things. And one of the things is the positive thing that happens with a flood, which is totally normal, is it scours out the channels and creates new holes, and so all the rivers are going to look different now than when the last time you went, okay, last year. So after the June flood, we saw changes. Now, one of the things I want to note to folks is I've been studying, I'm not an expert, but I've been studying some stream classification techniques and Rwsea principles and stream hydrology, excuse me. And one of the problems is that with the June 2006 floods, I was saying that the dredging of these creeks and the dredging of these streams with federal FEMA money was the wrong approach, because what they're going to do is make things worse the next time we have a high water period. Well, guess what? We had the flash flooding period there, and things were much worse. Because what happens is the water, when you channelize a stream and make it into a straight ditch, the water goes through there faster okay, than it is upstream or downstream. So what it does is it has a ripple effect, and it causes erosion upstream, okay? So when you have the straight channel, right down here on Front Street is a prime example. By the Dunkin' Donuts, there's a little creek there, and it's a little channel. Well, once the water was going through there so fast, it eroded upstream because of the funnel effect. All that silt filled up in the culvert there, and it ended up with flooding, and the houses were flooded there, and they had a lot of problems, and it was just from a flash flood. But they really need to do some proper work on that stream. So we're going to do a lot of talk about stream hydrology this year and stream classification. So I have some stuff from the USGS, United States Geological Survey, which we'll cover. Also, if you've been looking at your fishing book, there's a lot of new regulations in here, and I noticed they're highlighted in blue. So if you go to Region 7, which is somewhere in here. Well, anyway, it's somewhere right here. I thought it was. Region 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, here we go. There's a lot of streams that are open all season for artificial lures and catch and release, like the Rwsea from October 16th to March 31st. That is open for catch and release fishing only. You got Salmon Creek up in Cayuga, not the Salmon River, but Salmon Creek. This is artificial flies only. You got the East Branch of Owego Creek and the West Branch of Teofneoga River and the Rwsea River. Catch and release only, artificial lures. The Rwsea River and the East Branch of Teofneoga, catch and release only. So here's the East Branch of the Teofneoga, catch and release only. That's up near Cortland, and the way the weather's been this year, it's just snowing today. It's 2 days after Christmas. I'm filming this. But you see there's a lot of new regulations in here for Region 7 and Oswego, Oneida Lake, Owego Creek, East and West Branch, catch and release only, artificial lures. Salmon Creek above Ludlowville Falls, catch and release only. I might be going up there with Ted the Strike Master. We might go this week. We've been talking about that. So that's some good news for fishermen. And if you're a fly fisherman, you can get out there and take part in those activities all winter long. And probably a hare's ear nymph or a stonefly would be your best choice of fly. And I don't know what other kind of lures you might want to use. But anyway, we've got this year's show promises to be spectacular, to say the least. We've got a lot of new gadgets. This one's pretty cool. This is a fly tying wheel, fly pattern wheel. You just turn this arrow to point to a fly, Henryville Special, and it tells you the body dubbing, the thread, the wings, hackle, and the hook size. So this is a pretty cool thing. I got this on eBay, and on the back it's got your hackle gauge is with the center. It comes with there's a center pin here to do your hackle gauge. It's got your hook guides, and it's a pretty cool thing. It's called the Flywheel. I got that on eBay. And another exciting thing that I did this last summer was with a blind program down in Hale Eddy, where Carl Newton, a good friend of mine who's been working with sight disabled people for many, many years, with skiing and other types of activities like that, he asked me to help him with some fly casting. So I'm going to put some of that on here. I didn't get a lot of footage because I was mostly working. I was teaching people how to fly fish or fly cast. Next year we're hoping to make it even bigger and take them to a pond perhaps, and do a field trip type thing at a pond where there's a bunch of bass that are just, going to bite on their hook. So we hope to get some blind people fly fishing with a real hook and actually have them hook up on some fish. So that's going to be exciting. And that's, again, we'll have that for next year, but I'm going to show you some clips of the folks at the Land of the Vikings down in Hale Eddy area. We taught 25 people actually to fly cast, and most of them did pretty well, better than some of some of the people I've worked with who could see. So it's fly casting is not that difficult, and so we'll be doing that on the show as well. I have I have that shot of me doing casting in the yard, so I'll put that in somewhere. We're going to be doing fly tying for the few shows, and I'm going to have Mike Bukowski from Rainbow's End Flies on. He's going to be doing his standard flies that he likes to tie. We're going to do some ice fishing again, and I'm going to go out with Ted the Strike Master and maybe Butch Bliznick. We're going to go, and Frank Andros. We're going to go out to some secret spots and catch a bunch of perch, and we'll probably cook those right up. But again, we're gonna do the typical conservation show with folks from Trout Unlimited, with our cleanups and our banquets and basically Trout Unlimited itself. I have a film from Trout Unlimited, New York State Council, by the way. We're gonna have the usual stuff, live bait and the fun clips. I always cover canoeing and kayaking. I do a show. We'll have a show just on that. Oh, we got some special editions this year. Last summer I worked on a couple of videos with some folks from the biology department at BCC, and we did forced community succession out at Salt Springs State Park. So I have that clip, that video. And that's pretty much a whole show right there. And then I have another one where we went to a bog up near Lyle, past Lyle, way out that way. Really nice bog. And Troy, Jesse, and Mark Demetris take us through the bog in the community succession. We talk about the plants that are there. We ate a lot of blueberries. They were ripe when we were out there. We had the blueberries were awesome. But that's another show. We're going to also do our typical geology trip up through Wolf Park in Shenango Bridge area there, or Nimmonsburg area, the Wolf Park. We're going to go through that. So we got a lot of things going on here with the show this year. It's season 5. Again, I didn't get a lot of new footage of fishing per se. I really didn't get out that much. I was working at Tioga Downs most of the summer, working 5 days a week, 15-hour days, doing video production out there, and I'm done with that. And it was a fun time in my life, but I learned a lot. But I would rather be doing the show and helping you folks out there learn how to fly fish and fly cast and all that stuff. I've been tying flies. Been tying flies because I went to a conference for Trout Unlimited down in Carlisle, PA, and Mary and I went, and I promised all the people at the conference, they all run youth camps in their state through Trout Unlimited, and it's a fly fishing. It's an intense week of fly fishing. It's run Sunday through Friday, and they have different levels of it's usually 12 to 14 or 12 to 17 age group. I think that's what it is, and they're all different. And some of them are really special, and I'm hoping that we in New York State can get a youth fishing program started here with the New York State Council, so that's why I went down. But I promised to tie flies for all the camps. And then I asked one of the camps, I go, how many kids do you have? He said 32. So I've been in the process of tying 64 light Cahills. These are the females. I tied those as a parachute in Mike Bukowski style. And then these are the, I used a quill. This is a male, but I used a quill on these, and these are with dubbing. So there's two different flies, and this one represents the male, this one represents the female, and I need to do 12 more of these, so I've been busy. And that's just one of the camps. I have to get hold of the other camps and find out how many kids they have at their camp, and I promised them all I would tie 2 flies for each kid at their youth camp. So I got a lot of work to do yet. So on that, so we'll be, but again, we're going to be covering fly tying. Next week's show, I'm going to go over some of the tools. And here's my fly box is right here. This is my portable one, and I have my Dynaking vise right here, and I have my magnifying lamp here, which is a necessity these days for me to tie these flies. And I got all my Zap-A-Gap and all my materials right here. I got a new fly tying station back here. That's pretty cool. So basically, we're looking at, we got fly tying. We're going to do the insult and some nymphs, and we're going to talk about them. We're going to probably do another woolly bugger. That's a good fly to get people started, and we're going to do some dry flies. We're going to do Mike Bukowski ice fishing. I'm going to try to get up there again and do the trout in the classroom. It's been a few years since I got up there and got new footage at Rwsea's, but they've got the program down really well. There's over 19 schools participating, I think, in the Trout in the Classroom program through the Alhazard chapter of Trout Unlimited. So it's a really successful program and teaches kids the science and the life cycle of trout, and how important it is to have clean water, and the fact that trout are like the canary in a coal mine. If you have a stream and the trout can't survive in it, you're having trouble. And we're also going to be getting into, in March, we have our TU banquet. At the end of March, the Trout Unlimited banquet is always in the last Saturday in March. And I hope some of you will come out for that. It's a fun time. We have a lot of good food and a lot of good friends and a lot of good prizes. And then in April, we always do our stream bait cleanup, and that's the Trout Unlimited cleanup in deposit. And then in May is the kids fishing derby. So I will be showing some footage from previous derbies. We've been doing the kids fishing derby for, I think, 6 years now. This year will be the 6th year, so I'm excited about that as well. And oh yeah, we got the Brown Drake film and other things going on. So I'm sure you don't want to just listen to me. I'm sure I got something like I can play here, maybe live bait or some funny film that I have in the archives. I will squeeze in, but I hope you'll stay with me this year. It's 2007, and it's season 5 of Riffles and Waves. I'm your host, Curtis Mayfly, saying I'll see you real soon, and keep on fishing in the free world. we go. These are brown drake spinners flying about. They're like,
You should turn around because your back is covered with it.
they're like all over.
They're all female bugs on you too.
Wow, look at that.
You're just
They are. They're all over me.
You're just a real hunk.
Yeah.
Walk in front of the camera.
My reverse right. Okay, all right. How you doing? How you doing?
Good.
A couple of fish came right out of the water on the way down, but not too much wind.
Yeah, it'll be.
There's more bugs on the water here though on this side than there was on the other side.
Spinners now.
Oh, okay. Right, look, no, right to your 10 o'clock. There's fish rising, okay, buddy? About
Where?
10 feet from the boat. 10 o'clock. Yeah, right there.
Oh, right here in front of the boat.
Right in front of the boat.
Just flick it right in the front of the boat.
There you go. No, you gotta adjust. That'll work. That'll work.
I
That'll
want
go.
to hit you.
We'll tell you what.
Don't worry, the hook comes out.
I don't want to hit him.
We're catching perch on the fly here on Skinny Atlas Lake. They're rising everywhere. Oh, look at it. Ow.
You stumble and step on that fly patch.
Why don't you move it out of your way? Move it off to the side, right by your right leg. You crush all those flies. You'll have to retie every one of them for me and send them to me. I'm just amazed, Rick, that there aren't more prizes.
I think they're all close to it. All the fish are up there.
That's incredible. They're all where? There's one right
At
over
that
here.
one fish here. Fish?
Yeah, it was a nice fish.
Oh, yeah.
There, perch on the fly. This week on Babe Winkerdinks in Fishing. Bob Mead's running our guide service today, and Rick Narrow's hosting our lodge accommodations. Yuta's our guide.
Gilly.
I'm the perfectionist.
And we're going after perch on the fly today.
The hills are alive with the sound of music. see this?
Kurt Nelson.
What?
I came home and told you that very thing, but you didn't see me. No, never mind.
I did too.
Did not.
I did too.